West Indies players in their warm-up. This is something that I would have spoken about on numerous occasions. The lack of intensity, the lack of energy shown by the West Indies players when they're on the field and doing the training. Not surprising to me, the energy and the intensity of the Papua New Guinea squad left him tired at the end of their training. That was not surprising because that West Indies play. If under Simmons, I would give them a 3.5 or a 4. Yesterday, they deserve an 8, maybe even 8.5. The intensity was high. That was not me yesterday at the match. I have been thinking if Brandon King and Darren Sammy had went to the curators and said to them, we are going to play 4 spinners, we want a track that is turning. And indeed, the track turned squared because when Fabian Allen can get a ball to turn, you really know that the pitch is turning. Gudakesh Motie was unplayable. Chase that delivery that got the South African opener. It was a beauty. It touched down, it curved away, and what good work by Andre Fletcher. Those two were not the only thing that pleases me yesterday also. Obed McCoy. When Obed McCoy got the ball to bowl in the 14th over, I was shouting at the top of my voice, why Obed McCoy? Why not Hussein? Why not Chase? Why not Fabian Allen? The pitch was turning. And I was not comfortable with the decision to bowl Obed McCoy at that time. But in the next 2 overs bowled by Obed McCoy, as he got 2 crucial wickets and put the result of the match beyond doubt. So those 3 things really pleases me yesterday. I was happy for the win, of course. I enjoyed that. But I'm just highlighting the 3 things that stood out for me yesterday. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show. We are always happy when the West Indies win, and we did so again yesterday at Sabina Park. For the first time in almost 2 years, cricket returned to Sabina Park, and what a grand occasion it was. It was Labor Day in Jamaica, and it was a decent turnout. I believe, as far as memory can serve me, that was the largest crowd at Sabina Park for an international cricket match for the past 20 years. Congratulations to all those who turned out. I will talk some more about the crowd later on in the broadcast. Now, as I was traveling home last night with my friend Mark, Damian Tomlin is a farmer, a hard-working farmer in Jamaica. As I was traveling home, I said, is Jason Holder in the West Indies squad. Mark you, I don't think that any change will take place in the squad. None. No, I do not see foresee any changes taking place in the squad unless there is an injury. However, I said in the car to Damian Tomlin, Obed McCoy should replace Jason Holder. And he was having none of it. Absolutely none of it. He doesn't watch cricket much because, as I said, he's opportunity. He always goes to the matches and watch the matches. But he was absolutely having no thoughts of it. None whatsoever that Obed McCoy should replace Jason Holder. He lists off a million reasons why Jason Holder should be in the squad ahead of Obed McCoy. Definitely, I would have rebutted him. And one of the times, the conversation in the car has become very tense. But I enjoyed it. So there's a big debate. Should Obed McCoy replace Jason Holder in the West Indies squad? The next thing that was occupying my mind as I drove home last night was how brittle that middle order batting is. When the squad was first selected, I spoke about this middle order and spoke that too many bowlers were in the squad. As usual, a very minuscule, I would not even say a minority, I would say a minuscule few of challenge. They have to. If everyone should agrees with everything that I said all the time, I'd become very scared. I'd become very nervous because not everyone believed in Jesus. Not everyone followed Jesus. So I expect that when I say something, when I give my opinion, I expect that person will agree, but I also know that person will disagree. And I have no issues with that. Of course, I'm going to take issues with the disrespect, and I may even ban you from the channel if that disrespect is over the top. Now, there's some disrespect that I can take, but some is probably over the top. But back on topic. That middle order was very brittle, as we saw yesterday. When we look, West Indies were 115 for 1 in the 11th over when Brandon King bust the sky and got out of the final delivery of the 11th over for 79. After that, the batting fell away. And I heard persons, Roger from Fort Lauderdale, I heard Roger did not appreciate the approach that Chase took while he was batting. That middle order batting, as you look here on the screen, King went for 71, Charles for 1, Mayers for 34, and Chase for 32 from 30 deliveries. Roger did not agree with the approach that Chase took. But how many would we have made if Chase never took that approach? How many? You know, when you look, Fletcher 1, Allen 1, Forde 2, Hussein 5, Motie 1, Joseph 0, and McCoy did not bat. They fell away like 10 pins after the dismissal of Mayers and Brandon King. And so you have to give Chase credit. Naturally, if we were not losing wickets that fast, Chase, I think, would have gone at a much faster rate as we have seen in the past. But the circumstances on Sunday call for Chase to really stay there and try and bat as long as possible. Without Chase 32, probably South Africa would have won that match. But that middle order is brittle. When I walked into Sabina Park, when I saw the squad came up, I was start tearing out my hair because although not much is on my head, because when I picked my 11 earlier in the week, this was my 11. But you see, West Indies took out Shepherd and Older out of my 11. I guess they are probably tired. One is coming from the IPL and one is coming from the English County Championship. So maybe they are tired. Who to tell? Maybe that's the excuse we will get. However, when you look at that middle order yesterday that the West Indies played, it was absolutely brittle, and there was no one there to really stand up and bat. So overall, West Indies made 175 for 8 of their 20 overs, with Brandon King top scoring with 79. Baartman and Phehlukwayo got 3 wickets each for South Africa. Hendricks made 87 in reply. Motie, what an outstanding bowler Motie is developing to. There were, about a year ago, some persons used to challenge me on this in this same community. Why is it that I seem to rate Motie ahead of Hussein? And while I'm not going to try to sow any division, because I will support both players, because I need them to win the World Cup. And when they win the World Cup, I'll be very happy. But Motie has been outstanding, and he was absolutely brilliant again yesterday. Good spell from Gudakesh Motie. 3 for 25 from his 4 overs. He broke the backbone of the attack. Now, the next thing that I looked at yesterday was the keeping of Andre Fletcher. He was absolutely brilliant. That stumping of Ruston Chase in his first over to get rid of the South African opener, his name not coming back to me right now. It was flash. He got those bails off in a flash. Absolutely in a flash. It was brilliant from Andre Fletcher and his wicket keeping have came a long, long way. There was talk about, on a lighter note, they were talk about that Andre Fletcher as a family in Westmoreland, Jamaica. That was some talk. I don't know if that is true, but there's a lot of talk about it. And I like to know that he has a family in Jamaica, in Westmoreland. So he is a yardie. But it's not because of that why I'm saying that his glove work, his hand speed was absolutely lightning fast yesterday. Well done, Andre Fletcher. Now, the next thing that occupied my mind was the crowd yesterday. It wasn't a sellout crowd like what we saw in the semifinals of the Jamaica Premier League football competition that ends about 2-3 weeks ago. It wasn't that sellout crowd. But Sabina Park, as I said at the beginning of the show, it was the largest crowd in 20 years that I've seen at Sabina Park for an international cricket match. That's my opinion. That's my view. And if you have another opinion, I'm not talking about CPL, because there are some big crowds for CPL, especially at the start of the CPL. I'm talking about an international cricket match. That crowd yesterday may have been the largest crowd at Sabina Park. Now, there's a lot of talk about cricket is dead in Jamaica. I watched the final of the Hendricks Cup cricket competition for schoolboys about 6 to 8 weeks ago. At that finals, there were more than 2,000 spectators. I stream it live on my YouTube channel, and when I check the data, over 20,000 persons watched that Hendricks Cup final. Now, there's this thought that cricket is dead in Jamaica. Those misinformed persons should now sit down and shut up, because clearly cricket is not dead. What people want is good cricket, exciting cricket. And once the cricket is exciting, Jamaicans are going to go out and support it. There's a lot of cricket playing in Jamaica. A lot of cricket right now, from the schoolboy level right up to senior cup, right up. A lot of SDC cricket, a lot of Curry Gold cricket is playing. Cricket is not dead in Jamaica, and Jamaicans still love cricket. So all of those misinformed persons who are willing to attend the night, who are willing to write the final rights, remember, cricket is not dead in Jamaica. I'm looking forward to Saturday and Sunday to see what crowd will turn out. Now, there are a number of initiatives that the JCA and Cricket West Indies have put in place. Like, they have invited school children to come to the matches. Now, although these children will be coming free of cost, if they don't like the cricket, they're not going to come. You can take the cow to the water, but you cannot force the cow to drink it. So it's a good initiative by the Jamaica Cricket Association and Cricket West Indies to get the school children out at the matches. So that's a good initiative. Another initiative that Cricket West Indies have put in place is that you get 3 tickets for the price of 2. So if you buy tickets for 2 days, you will get the 3rd day free. So I'm really looking forward to see what kind of crowd will be at Sabina Park this Saturday and Sunday. If Sabina Park should be full this Saturday and Sunday, what will that tell us about our non-bid for the World Cup? There's a point that I always made about the non-bid. Now, I have said this on many occasions. If the World Cup matches were being played in Jamaica, I personally would benefit financially. So I would have loved to see the World Cup in Jamaica. I would have loved to see it. These initiatives that CWI and the Jamaica Cricket Association have made for this 3-match series convince me, in my humble opinion, it convinced me that if some work had gone into selling the tournament to the government of Jamaica, we may well would have World Cup matches in Jamaica. I just think that the JCA, and this is my opinion, I just think that the JCA goes to the government and said, there's a World Cup coming about. I want us to bid for it. But without any event planning around the World Cup, any initiative to garner crowd support for the World Cup, and selling a package to the government of Jamaica, I think that's where it went all wrong. Maybe, and maybe rightfully so, the government should have go back to the Jamaica Cricket Association and said, tell us your plan. Give us your plan. Tell us how you're going to market this World Cup. Show us how this World Cup is going to be beneficial to us. Just don't tell us that it is going to be beneficial. Put things on paper. Put numbers on paper. Put initiatives on paper. Put objectives on paper and submit it to us. Maybe the government could have said that. And on the other hand, the Jamaica Cricket Association could have done that too without the government saying. I am not blaming one or the other, but I just think the approach was not right from both sides. And I cannot blame the government. I cannot blame the government, and I will not blame the JCA. I think it is equal responsibility. Now, there was a time, and this is what you call it. This is source knowledge. There was a time when they were looking at the models for the packages of the World Cup to see which country get what matches. And there were 30 models, 30 different models. And when CWI and Cricket West Indies and the ICC look at all of these models, that is when they approached Dominica and asked them to withdraw. Because the models that they have, it appears then that no country would have really benefited if Dominica stayed in. What would have happened if Jamaica had been for the World Cup? But I speak from a position of someone who would have benefited if the World Cup was in Jamaica. I've said a lot since morning. It was a very enjoyable game yesterday. And I again appeal to Jamaicans, if you are living in Jamaica, please go out and support the match on Saturday and Sunday. That's tomorrow and Sunday. I thank you all for being here. I really appreciate your company. I'm coming to your comments. But I must also encourage you again that with the World Cup coming, there are some links in the video description of how you can support the Cricket Forum. So click those links in the video description. You're scrolling across the bottom of the screen. And I look forward to your support as the World Cup approaching. Just not many days leave now. It starts on the 1st. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate your company, and I'm glad that you're here. I will take your comments just now. If we're picking people based on yesterday's performance, I think we would have picked Motie, McCoy, Mayers, and King. We'd want to see more of the others. So Paul Goodman is saying that Forde and Chase would be on the threshold and Allen impressed in the field. There was an improvement in the running between the wickets. Thank you, Paul Goodman, for your comments. Wilson Esmans, my question would be, if Chase in the playing 11 for a World Cup, what position will he bat? Well, Wilson Esmans, I think that Chase is going to bat at number 4 in the World Cup team. That's my conviction, especially in the first match. Chase will bat at number 4. Now, you must appreciate that Chase innings yesterday was due to a brittle middle order that was falling away. Fletcher, 1. Allen, 1. Hussein, 2. Hussein, 5. Forde, 2. Motie, 1. Shamar Joseph, 0. If Chase had got out yesterday with that brittle middle order, how many would West Indies have played? Now, flashback to the previous match that Chase played for the West Indies against Australia, that third and final T20 match. And I hope Miguel Douglas is here that he can give me the strike rate of Chase in that match. But I can tell you, I cannot tell you from memory, but I am almost sure that his strike rate in that match was above 150 because it was a different situation. And I think that Chase played the situation well yesterday. I know that Roger in Fort Lauderdale will not agree, but I think he played the situation well. If Chase plays, Hope has to sit, or either Motie. Hope will sit out, Chase will bat at 4. That is my conviction in that first match. Good morning, sir. Seeing West Indies will have to use the impact rule for our team. That is not allowed in international cricket. That definitely not allowed. Selector Baartman is saying that middle order is not what we are carrying to the World Cup. I know that, Selector Baartman. I think everyone in this community know that. But the fact that the middle order that batted yesterday, because what we are doing here is real time. We are living in the presence, not in the future, but in the presence. And so that middle order yesterday was absolutely brutal, and South Africa just ran through it. And that's what we are talking about. We are not talking about the World Cup middle order. We are talking about that one. They say that that's not true. Chase have been having an hard time connecting. Even when he was trying to hit a boundary, he was having a hard time. So his strike rate was not deliberate. He was not able to go faster. If that's how you interpret it, then it's okay. I do not have an issue with you interpreting that way. Of course, every batsman mistime deliveries from now and then. Every batsman will do that. And he did mistime a few deliveries, but he batted well yesterday and he played the occasion. He definitely played the occasion. And again, I will say, and I hope Michael Douglas is listening to me, but if Michael Douglas is not listening, you check it yourself. How many Chase made and his strike rate in the last T20 International he played for the West Indies. That was against Australia. Also, although it was Nepal, but it's still Nepal. You know, sometimes we look at the associate teams and call them associate. But we saw where the US is now leading Bangladesh 2-0 in their T20 series. It's a 3-match T20 series, and the US have won the first 2. And as someone who followed cricket intensely, and not just rum talk or bar talk, and understand what is going on in the game, I think there are 30 teams. There are about 30 associate teams right now. About 30 associate teams can beat, probably, I don't think they will be able to beat India or so, but say those from 8, you know, there are 12 full members teams. So those from 8 to 12 on the table, there are about 30 associate teams that can beat any one of those teams on a given day. So do not underestimate the associate teams. I said that to make the point that if you look back at Chase strike rate against Nepal and against Australia, you would appreciate what he did yesterday. It was well done by Chase. Mr. Casanova, good morning. Welcome to the show. I was so happy to see the crowd at Sabina Park. Yes, indeed. And I'm getting the feelings, Mr. Casanova, that come Saturday and come Sunday, it will be a much bigger crowd. I was eager to see Shamar Joseph bowling, and he did not disappoint. Yes, he bowled one delivery, I think, not one delivery, but I saw where he bowled one delivery at 90 miles per hour. Because you know that it's not every time that you're going to be looking at the speed. But there was a particular delivery that was at 90 miles per hour. And so he really worked up some pace yesterday. And his 3 overs went for 20 runs, was not disappointing. Well bowled. You could not ask for more. I met him after the match and we had a little talk for just about a minute or so. I always rate Motie as our best spinner in T20 cricket. 48 not outs. Edit, so you doing? Good game yesterday, but I'm glad that Shamor got a wicket under his belt. Yes, that was very important to me too, that he got a wicket under his belt. Good point, Mr. Casanova. Cricket is not dead in Jamaica. There are those who are misinformed and are ready to read the final rights, but they have to think again because cricket is alive and well in Jamaica. Sylvester Biscay, how are you? Good morning to you, Cricket Forum, and all the viewers. I appreciate it very much. Sherwin, my friend, welcome to the show. I hope you're okay. I hope you're feeling well. I hope you're feeling energized and motivated. And I'm so happy that you are here, Sherwin. Glad to see you. Very, very glad to see you. And when you are giving Brandon King credit, I know that you're feeling very, very happy, Sherwin. I'm so happy that you're here. I am told he had a 175 strike rate. That is what is required in the World Cup to win. 175 strike rate is a total of 210 runs over 20 overs. Good analysis there, Sherwin. I love that. That seems good. I am impressed. I'm very impressed, Sherwin. Rowan Perry saying that I'm not impressed with Akeal Hussain at all. Now, that conversation came up this morning, and I'm going to say that I want to see Akeal Hussain and Budakesh Motie in our team. I continue to think that Akeal Hussain is bowling well enough. The International Cricket Council believes so too because they rate him as our best T20 bowler. And I'm going to support Akeal Hussain. Everyone is entitled to their opinion. If you are not impressed by Akeal Hussain, I can understand that and I respect that. But I will continue to support him and I want to see him in the team. So Sherwin doesn't agree with me that Chase should bat at 4. That's okay. The same thing. I respect your opinion, but I don't agree. You Awad is saying that Chase can't make the final 11. Well, we are not very far away. Next week Sunday, we will see. Vernon Farrell, how are you? I don't know if you're doing a watch along yesterday, but I just could not find it. Had to settle for another play which wasn't quite up to the mark. Well, Vernon, what happened is that because I'm at the matches, I cannot do a watch along from the ground. So I have to decide whether I will not attend the matches and do a watch along, or go to the matches and don't do the watch along. So because it's only 3 matches in Jamaica, and then after that, I will have many more opportunities to do many more watch along, I decided that I will go and watch these 3 matches. So I will not be able to do a watch along for these 3 matches because I do not have the rights to transmit anything from the ground live. So I hope you appreciate that. So I want to go to the matches. I won't be there on Sunday because I'll be covering a final in Michigan. I think there's a T20 final that is being played in Michigan, and I've been asked to cover that match. I've been contracted to cover that match. I'll be covering that match. Yes, Michael Douglas, thank you. Against Australia, he scored 37 from 20 deliveries at a strike rate of 185. Thank you very much, Michael Douglas. I know I can depend on you. So that was his previous T20 international before yesterday. He showed in that match that he has the ability to strike at a higher strike rate. Again, I appreciate the innings that Chase played yesterday. So Roger, I know that Roger didn't like it because Roger has a total different view. Chase has improved a lot with his strike rate. Yes, I have been his biggest critic. I acknowledge his improvement. His bowling has improved too. Now, Wilson Esmans, there's something about Chase, and you said that his bowling has improved. I want to disagree with you, now. There may be incremental improvement in his bowling. I'm not going to take maybe, just maybe. But what we have been doing, and a number of persons have been doing, and the first person to point this out to me was a guy named Kemar Williamson, who said that we need to look at Chase bowling in white ball cricket because his numbers in white ball cricket is outstanding, is world class. And we used to compare Test and Chase test bowling record and take it for granted that he was poor in white ball cricket. But when you look back at Chase performances in white ball cricket, he has always been good with the ball. Check it out. He has always been good with the ball. That was brought to my attention by Kemar Williamson, and I've always been looking at it. And so some of us would see Chase as improving with the ball. But if we check out his white ball numbers, he has always been good. Chase it a saying that Chase it a 4 splitting backward point was a beauty. Yes, Mr. Casanova, I remember that match very well. I'm Sherwin is giving his batting order for the World Cup. As we draw closer to the World Cup, after these 3 T20 internationals, the focus will be solely on the World Cup. Not only the West Indies team, but also on a number of other teams. I think I'll be focusing on 2 associate teams, that Namibia and Nepal, during the World Cup. So, blessing Oran Hernandez, blessing. Sure, it's real quality. He's saying that Shamar Joseph is real quality. The champion, glad to have you here. Cricket in JA should be mandatory. It should be. Thank you. He's saying fabulous jobs as usual. And Wilsey saying, I agree with you. If Chase plays, he cannot bat lower than 4. I think it's best he bat in the middle overs, but not in the last stage. Thank you very much. Chase is in my starting 11. He's not batting at 4. Chase is in your starting 11, but he's not batting at 4. Thank you very much, Sherwin. And again, I'm asking you, please support the channel as we head towards the World Cup. The links are in the video description. You can email me. You can use PayPal. You can use NCB if you're in Jamaica. It's scrolling across the bottom of the screen there. It's also in the video description. Please, I'm asking for your support as we head towards the World Cup. Send me an email. Or if you have a business that you'd want us to promote, we will promote your business too. We can work out a package. So you're welcome. We will advertise your business. We will mention your business. We will promote your business. And so in return, we will work out a package for you. So if you want to promote your business, especially in sports, or like if you're in the the beverage industry or so on, or in the clothes manufacturing industry and so on, we will promote those things. We'll wear your clothes on our live show. We'll drink your beverage on our live show. So we'll promote your company. So so please support the Cricket Forum as we head towards the World Cup. Hussein should definitely not play in the World Cup. Okay, Rowan Perry, respect your opinion, but we have 2 different perspectives on this. I think that he should be in our World Cup 11. Something though that was very interesting yesterday. What a move! Was it Darren Sammy that came up with it, or was it Brandon King? But for Chase to open the bowling with Matthew Forde, both getting a wicket in their first over. What an outstanding move. Whosoever comes up with that, brilliant, well done, and I appreciate that. Mikel, how are you, sir? When I look at Chase white ball stats, he could make the 11 as a bowler, and he could be a floater batsman, depend on the situation. Thank you very much, Mikel Douglas. Thank you all for being here. I look forward to see all the Jamaicans in this community at the match on Saturday. Please come to the match. Let me know that you are here. You are there. I'll definitely come and see you. And probably all of us could gather in one spot in the stand and have a good time. Yes, I understand that. No, not all the bowlers got wicket. I trust Chase bowling way more than Hussein. Okay. Oh, very interesting that you have more confidence in Chase bowling than Hussein, Mr. Casanova. Thank you all for being here. Have a wonderful day now. Take care of yourself. Take care of your loved one. God bless. One speed. See you later.